On the southern edge of Los Angeles, just a few miles from the runways of LAX, an enormous structure rises from what was once a defunct racetrack. From the air, it looks less like a traditional stadium and more like a futuristic campus. A sweeping roof hovering above an open-air bowl surrounded by plazas, parks, and water features. This is SoFi Stadium, the centerpiece of the Hollywood Park redevelopment project and one of the most ambitious sports venues ever constructed. In a city known for spectacle, SoFi Stadium had to achieve something extraordinary simply to stand out. Los Angeles already had iconic venues like the Rose Bowl and the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, each tied deeply to American sports history. Yet, SoFi Stadium was conceived not as a replacement for those historic arenas, but as a new type of venue altogether, one designed for a 21st century entertainment economy where sports, concerts, media production, and global events merge into a single ecosystem. Completed in 2020, after 4 years of construction, the stadium instantly became one of the most technologically advanced and architecturally ambitious venues on the planet. It is home to 2 NFL teams, the Los Angeles Rams and the Los Angeles Chargers, and it has already hosted some of the largest events in modern sports. But beyond the games themselves, SoFi Stadium represents something larger, a shift in how stadiums are designed, financed, and integrated into the urban fabric around them. The origins of SoFi Stadium can be traced back to the long and complicated history of professional football in Los Angeles. For more than 2 decades, the NFL's second-largest media market had no team at all. The Rams left for St. Louis in 1995, and the Raiders returned to Oakland that same year, leaving a massive sports vacuum in Southern California. By the early 2010s, the league began exploring ways to bring the NFL back to Los Angeles. Several competing stadium proposals emerged across the region, but one idea quickly gained momentum: redeveloping the site of the former Hollywood Park racetrack in Inglewood. The racetrack had operated since 1938 and had long been one of California's premier horse racing venues. But by the early 21st century, racing attendance had declined sharply. Hollywood Park closed permanently in 2013, leaving behind a massive 300-acre property in a rapidly developing part of Los Angeles County. Real estate developer and Los Angeles Rams owner Stan Kroenke saw the opportunity immediately. Rather than simply building a stadium, Kroenke envisioned an entire entertainment district, a sports and media hub that could rival some of the most ambitious mixed-use developments in the United States. The result would become Hollywood Park, a multi-billion-dollar urban development featuring residential buildings, office towers, retail spaces, parks, and a 6,000-seat performance venue. At the center of it all would be the stadium itself, a structure that needed to be large enough, flexible enough, and technologically advanced enough to host everything from NFL games to global mega events. To turn that vision into reality, Kroenke hired the global architecture firm HKS, working alongside engineers from Walter P. Moore and landscape designers from Studio MLA. Their challenge was not simply to design a football stadium. Instead, they were asked to create a venue that could function simultaneously as a sports arena, concert venue, television studio, and civic gathering space. The architectural solution that emerged was radically different from most stadium designs. At first glance, the most striking feature is the massive translucent roof canopy that stretches over the entire complex. Instead of sitting directly on the stadium structure, the roof floats above it like a giant sail, covering not only the seating bowl, but also the surrounding plazas and pedestrian spaces. The canopy spans nearly 3.1 million square feet, making it one of the largest roof structures ever built for a sports venue. It is constructed from ETFE panels, a lightweight, transparent material commonly used in modern stadium designs, because it allows natural light to pass through while protecting the structure from weather. Unlike fully enclosed dome stadiums, SoFi Stadium remains open air on the sides, allowing breezes from the Pacific Ocean to move through the venue. The result is a hybrid environment, sheltered from rain or intense sun, yet still connected to the outdoors. This design also creates one of the stadium's most visually distinctive elements, the enormous curved roof line that appears to hover above the building. Another unusual feature of SoFi Stadium lies beneath the surface. Because the site sits directly under the flight path of nearby Los Angeles International Airport, federal aviation regulations limited how tall the stadium could be. Rather than reducing the scale of the project, engineers took a different approach. They built a large portion of the stadium below ground level. The playing field itself sits approximately 100 feet below street level, creating a massive sunken bowl carved into the earth. This solution allowed the stadium to maintain a dramatic roofline while still meeting strict aviation height restrictions. Excavating such a deep structure required removing millions of cubic yards of soil and building an extensive drainage system to protect the venue from flooding. The engineering challenge was enormous, but it ultimately allowed the architects to achieve the stadium's distinctive silhouette. SoFi Stadium was designed to accommodate large crowds while maintaining flexibility for different types of events. For NFL games, the stadium typically seats around 70,000 spectators, but the design allows that number to expand to over 100,000 for major events such as the Super Bowl or international tournaments. The seating bowl is arranged across multiple levels, with a heavy emphasis on premium hospitality spaces, a hallmark of modern stadium economics. These include luxury suites, field-level club seating, VIP lounges, exclusive hospitality clubs, and private terraces overlooking the field. In addition to these premium areas, the stadium also features wide concourses, open viewing platforms, and expansive public gathering spaces designed to improve the overall fan experience. Because the roof canopy covers the surrounding plazas, many of these outdoor areas remain shaded and usable even during hot Southern California afternoons. Inside the stadium, the most famous feature is impossible to miss. Suspended above the field is the Samsung Infinity Screen, commonly referred to as the Oculus. This massive double-sided video board wraps around the field in an oval shape, allowing fans in every section of the stadium to see high-definition replays and graphics. 120 yards long and nearly 70,000 square feet, it is one of the largest video displays ever installed in a sports venue. The screen hangs from the roof structure rather than resting on supports, creating the impression that it floats above the field. Its design allows both the upper and lower levels of seating to have clear views of the display. The Oculus has become one of SoFi Stadium's defining visual elements and a centerpiece for broadcasts, concerts, and major sporting events. Construction of SoFi Stadium began in late 2016 and quickly became one of the most expensive stadium projects in history. Originally estimated at around $2.6 billion, the total cost eventually climbed to approximately $5 billion when accounting for the stadium itself and its surrounding infrastructure. Several factors contributed to the escalating price: the complexity of the roof structure, extensive underground excavation, advanced digital infrastructure, large-scale landscaping and water features, and integration with the broader Hollywood Park development. Despite the enormous cost, the project was largely privately financed by Kroenke and his development group, making it one of the most ambitious, privately funded sports projects ever undertaken. By the time construction finished in 2020, more than 17,000 workers had participated in the project, making it one of the largest building efforts in California history. SoFi Stadium officially opened in September 2020, though the debut came under unusual circumstances. The COVID-19 pandemic meant that the first NFL season played in the stadium occurred without fans in attendance. While the empty stands created an eerie atmosphere, the venue quickly demonstrated its capabilities as a broadcast and entertainment hub. The stadium's advanced lighting systems, digital displays, and camera infrastructure made it one of the most visually striking venues ever used for televised sports. Fans were finally allowed into the stadium during the 2021 NFL season, marking the first time the venue experienced a full crowd. Just 2 years after opening, SoFi Stadium hosted one of the biggest sporting events in the world, Super Bowl 56 in February 2022. In a remarkable coincidence, the Los Angeles Rams became only the second team in NFL history to play the Super Bowl in their home stadium, and they won the game, defeating the Cincinnati Bengals. The event showcased the stadium's capabilities on a global stage. From the massive video board to the dramatic roof canopy glowing under night lighting, SoFi Stadium quickly became one of the most recognizable sports venues in the world. While football remains its primary tenant, SoFi Stadium was designed with much broader ambitions. The venue has already hosted some of the largest concerts in modern music, with artists like Taylor Swift and BTS drawing enormous crowds. The stadium's ability to accommodate large stage productions, combined with its massive video display and advanced acoustics, has made it a preferred location for global tours. SoFi Stadium will soon play another major role on the international stage. In 2026, the United States, Canada, and Mexico will jointly host the FIFA World Cup, the largest sporting event in the world. Los Angeles is one of the host cities, and SoFi Stadium will serve as the primary venue for matches in the region. Because FIFA prohibits corporate naming rights during the tournament, the venue will temporarily operate under a neutral title, Los Angeles Stadium. The stadium's large capacity, modern infrastructure, and global broadcast capabilities make it an ideal venue for the tournament. One of the most important aspects of SoFi Stadium is that it does not exist in isolation. The stadium is surrounded by the Hollywood Park development, which continues to grow years after the venue opens. The district includes office spaces for media companies, residential housing, retail areas, parks, and performance venues. Combining sports, entertainment, housing, and business spaces in a single development, Hollywood Park aims to transform Inglewood into one of Southern California's most dynamic entertainment hubs. SoFi Stadium's global role will not end with the World Cup. In 2028, Los Angeles will host the Summer Olympic Games, and the stadium will serve as the venue for the opening and closing ceremonies, sharing responsibilities with the historic Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. This dual venue concept will connect Los Angeles's past and future. The Coliseum, representing nearly a century of Olympic history, and SoFi Stadium, representing the next generation of stadium architecture. SoFi Stadium stands at the intersection of sports, technology, and urban development. From its floating roof canopy to its enormous video display, nearly every aspect of the venue was built to push the boundaries of what a stadium could be. And while the project's massive price tag sparks debate, its influence on stadium design is already evident. It is not just another arena. It is a statement about what stadiums are becoming. Not just places to watch sports, but destinations designed to shape entire cities.